Hello everybody. Welcome. Welcome indeed. What have I been doing? I just thrown that teapot body spout lid with a thrown handle there. So I'm going to be doing some of that. I'm doing a lot of different kinds of styles of teapots. I'm just sort of going with the flow, if you know what I mean. I did throw one the other day. I've been keeping it under plastic here. It's been, and so what I'm going to do is I am going to, yeah, this one is a bit small really. It was only supposed to be a pint size. So I'm just going to trim the base. I've been kind of spraying it and keeping it, you know, moist enough to work on. Just didn't manage to get to it. So just, you know, you don't have to have, teapots don't have to have trimmed feet at all. Let's just have a look at that. We're just gonna see, teapots are kind of sensitive things, if you know what I mean. So this one is kind of interesting form because it comes out here. So you'll notice it's got rather a low slung belly here. So it's got quite a few different angles going on. You've got the sweep up here to the belly, and then you've got this coming in here, and then you've got a change of angle there again and coming in there. So we've got to sort of like harmonize all these different features together. With the spout and the lid, we've got to pull the whole thing together and make it look harmonious. A teapot is a challenging pot to make because you've got so many different things to pull together to make it feel like it is one kind of integrated piece, if you know what I mean. Very often I look at teapots and I think, oh my gosh, that spout looks like the battleship Bismarck, or you know, oh my god, golly, the handle is like way out of proportion. So it's a good exercise in learning to hone your eye so that you can integrate all these different aspects of the teapot together. So at the moment I'm looking at the size of the foot here, maybe in relation to the top here. You know, there's like a relationship there. I feel like there's a little bit of clay to come off actually on the side wall. It feels like it's a little. It feels like I've thrown it a little thick in the wall here, thicker than I realised, if you know what I mean. Have you ever done that? You pick it up afterwards and you think, oh, that's not what I was expecting. Maybe, you know, maybe you were patting yourself on the back because you thought you'd thrown it rather well, but now this particular one I tried to push in the side and then I changed my mind, which is going to make it interesting to trim. So when you've got a piece like this, I've got to exert, I would like to be able to exert a bit of downward pressure here when I trim. I don't know if I've got anything I can put there on top, so I could put my finger on top of that. That might work. That might work. So you take a card like that and put a dab of water in the middle there where your finger's going to be. You see. And now, with a bit of downward pressure, I can trim it with a little bit more confidence, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you have to come up with solutions sometimes and make up tools on the spot. On the fly, you know. So just going down the side wall here, and not that I really wanted to do that. It's just that I just want to lighten it a little bit. It's a little thicker than I don't like teapots feel like they're too heavy when they're empty. It's all right feeling heavy when they're full, but if you haven't even put water in them or tea, and they feel heavy, it's not so good. So I'm just removing some of that there. Alright, now we've got this little angle here, so I'm just going to sharpen up that angle there. Like that. I now need to sort out the top here because it's a little bit soft and I was pushing down with that card, and so now I've just got to, with a little bit of water here, just bring it back to life, you know, because it got a little bit bent out of shape. Alrighty, right, let's have a look at that. Okay, that's better. I think you'll agree. Okay, but we haven't done the foot, have we? Oh no. Right. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to take orders on another batch of Leach treadle wheels after all, despite what I said. But I mean, although the economic climate is not very good at the minute, but I mean, there are people out there who've got money, and you know, if you want a Leach treadle wheel, yeah, and then you put the money down, we can get the thing made, you know. So if you're one of them, yeah, give me a shout. Give me a shout. Right, there we go. Okay, don't forget, always break the corner. As you've heard me say, I don't know how many times, once or twice. So now I'm just, right, now I'm going to just emptying out the foot ring here. Oh, I can hear a phone ring. Too bad. That phone's been ringing today, and every time I pick it up it's a wretched 800 number, or it says it's spam. Not even going to bother to answer it. Whoa! Okay, so if he comes off, that's a good opportunity to just have a look at him. A bit of water there again. I've nearly finished that. Don't forget, once you've centered it, to give it some sort of downward pressure to help it to stick. It's got a fairly narrow point of attachment down there, so they are inclined to come off the wheel, but we are not daunted, because we know how to tap center, don't we? Don't we? Yes, we do. Okay. All right. That will do. That will do. Okay, so that is the body. That is the body. Just got to go over that again. This is what we call the gallery, which is just a highfalutin name for a ledge. Goodness knows why they call it a gallery. So that is the lid that goes there. It's a little bit tight, you see. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I've got to trim this a bit actually. I've got to trim that a bit. How am I going to do that? I just need to, I want to trim that a touch. Before I do that, I'm just going to reduce the diameter of that lid, just carefully. I keep my finger on it when I do it, and just stay. Just want to see if that. Yeah. Didn't throw that lid particularly well actually. So a little bit. Yeah. I've got to find something to put him upside down on, because I can't trim him, you see, because he's got no. Are we in the picture? Yeah. So I got to look for a chuck. A chuck. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Hang on, folks. Hang on. Yeah, that'll work, I think. I'm just going to, as this is bone dry, I'm just going to right, now I'm going to just remove a little bit of clay here. As they say, where there's a wheel, there's a way. Alright, so I'll show you that quickly. See what I did, I reduced the I've got to see if that fits. Let's see if he fits on there. Yeah, he seems to fit okay. It's a small teapot, a small lid. Alright, let's quickly I've got to do this quick because I'm going to make it a long and drawn out clip, and I don't really want to do that, but oh dear, well, you can't be in a hurry, can you? You just got to. Right, so here's a spout that I threw. Oops, let's just get this over here a touch. Alright, so here's the spout. Okay, now it's useful to have a blade, and I recommend, if you can get hold of yourself, it's a spatula. Okay, if you can get hold of one of these, you'll find it a very useful tool for your pottery toolkit. So I've already actually gone around here a bit and cleaned that like that. Alright, so that spout is going to go on there. So just a couple of things to bear in mind when we're putting on spouts. Just bring this in a touch. When you attach the spout to the teapot, let's, for example, if I was to attach it like that, apart from the fact it looks terrible, but what's going to happen is that when you put the water in with the tea, as soon as it gets to about that level there, in other words not fully up to the top, say only 3/4 full, the tea is going to pour out the spout. So you've got to make sure that the spout is as high or higher than the level of the tea inside. Okay. Alright, so you saw me through that spout. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. Now I kind of know how to cut these spouts, having done so many of them, and I know approximately the angle. It's going to be about like that. I'm going to cut through there with this tool I mentioned, this miniature spatula. Okay, alright, there he is. So that's going to be approximately the angle. It will vary, and I'm just what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it now up to the teapot, and we're going to have a look. Have a look, see, you see. So okay, so you can see there the level of the spout in relation to the body of the teapot, and I think you'll agree that now if I cut more there where I'm tapping with my finger, okay, that's going to have the effect of lifting the spout up even more. I'm kind of thinking that is actually about right. I'm going to look at it from the sideways view there. Alright, so what we want to do, what I like to do is I'm just going to remove a little bit of material just here, like this, like that, you see what I did? And I'm going to dip it in my water pot. Just like that. Okay. Now, then what I'm going to do is take this and offer it up to the teapot in approximately the position that it's going to be. Okay, it's going to be like that. So I'm going to now just push it to the teapot like that. Okay, and now I'm going to pull it off. Ooh. And that will leave a mark. Can you see that mark? You see where the spout was, where it was just touching, it's wet. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that. Let's pull back a bit there. We're going to use that so I know where to. I'm going to use this Bill Van Gilder teapot. It's a neat little tool actually for doing this. about the best that I've ever come across, so get yourself one. So what we're going to do is we're going to put about 10 holes in here, and I like to do this. So this is the strainer, alright? So basically I do 4 down. See if I can do it in front of the camera. Okay. I do 4 down like that. Now just try and get them neat, but you know what? The important thing is you've got the number of holes rather than it's got to be really neat and tidy. Although we try and be neat and tidy, don't we? Of course we do. Sometimes I'm better than other days, you know. So the object of this is the strainer. You want to have enough holes to allow the flow of tea through the spout, okay, and it will hold back a tea bag or some loose tea. It's not going to be a perfect strainer, you know. So having then done that, observing where the mark was from where the spout was, what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it. Now this is a case where I don't do it with my fingernail. I use this tool, partly because I've already got the tool in my hand, so it's just easy to do. You see how I'm doing that? I basically just kind of crisscross it, key it like this. Okay. So that's going to go like that, okay, up on there. But before that, I'm going to dig into my water pot here, because I got some glue. Take a bit of this, okay, and I'm just going to apply this around here, okay. Just be careful, don't put too much, and don't in the process block the holes. Okay. Alright, something like that. We're then going to pick up our spout again, and I'm dipping it once in my water pot. Put this back down on your banding wheel. Right, are we in the picture? Are we in the picture? Yes, good. So what we're going to do now is line this up carefully, okay, with the holes, and bring it into position. Now you'll have to adjust it, perhaps. Alright, and now applying some pressure here with my finger all along the edge there, where I want to push that into against that keyed area where I put the glue. Splidge, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm using my finger here to make good the join. Apply a little pressure, just being aware that the side of the teapot is also soft-ish. I don't want to apply too much pressure, otherwise it could push in the side of the teapot. Don't want that. Across the bottom here. A little water on my finger to assist. Okay. Yeah, teapots, you see, they do demand a little bit of extra special care to make. Because you're pulling together all these different aspects, you see, the spout, the top, the base, the handle. Probably what I think I'm going to do with this clip is, because I haven't got the handle ready yet, I think what I'm going to do, maybe we'll draw this clip to a close. But before I do that, I'm just going to cut the spout. So this is a question I get asked all the time, and that is about cutting a teapot spout. Okay, I'm not a big sponger, but in this case, after doing a teapot like this, I'd just like to give it a light sponge over. Okay, don't over sponge it, otherwise you bring all the grog up. We don't like that. Okay, alright, so what you need to bear in mind is, if you throw a spout on the wheel in an anti-clockwise direction, okay, during the firing it will undo the other way. So this spout was thrown in an anti-clockwise direction like that, okay, but in the firing it's going to turn the other way. It's going to turn clockwise. So the opposite would be true if you threw it the opposite. Okay. So basically, if this spout is going to do up, in other words, go clockwise in the firing, if I cut this here now absolutely straight, what's going to happen after I take it out of the kiln? It's not going to be straight anymore, is it? It's going to have moved up. It's going to have twisted. Alright, so in order to compensate for that, I cut it down on the left hand side. So that's a good general rule. As you look at the teapot head on, spout on, you want to cut it down on the left hand side a couple of degrees, okay, just like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So using this, and this is why this is useful, you want to dip it in water first. Okay, I'm going to bring in this camera for a bit of detail, because there's an important thing I need to tell you about doing this, so as you can appreciate, as I cut through here like this, I need to put my finger on the other side there, because as the blade comes out through the other side here, it will break off the edge of the spout. Alright? So you want to wet it to lubricate it. Okay, now I've got to get down here a bit like this, and I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to put my finger on the other side, and I'm going to start to cut through. Okay, look, there we are, I'm halfway through, you see that? So, now remember, put your finger right on the other side there to receive the blade, and look, don't just push it out through. You see how I'm cutting it? I'm kind of like, alright, there he is. There he is. See, that's what I've cut off. Now, if I did it right, he hasn't broken away there, you see? Now, if I hadn't done that with my finger when I cut through, that corner there would have, I guarantee, would have been broken off. Okay? So just to look at that, it's not a great deal. Let's just put the blade onto it and hold it there. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it should be very slightly down on the left hand side. Now if I didn't do it quite right, what I can do is I can just, says he, just shaving just a fraction away on that, again putting my finger there, you see, to support that edge. It's very important. Yeah, that's down enough now.